Carolina on the ride. Carolina on the ride.
What's up, everybody? Once again, this is Bill Mack here with the Panther Prowl. Yes, Panther Nation, it is good to see you once again. Thanks for stopping by, viewing this video here. As this is Bill Mack, I am here to give you my preview of the upcoming Carolina Panther game, of course. Hashtag keep pounding, Panther fans, as we are taking on this week's Detroit Lions at Detroit. Yes, this is a battle of the 3-1 teams as we go to Detroit to play them. What an awesome victory this past week we had against the New England Patriots. Now it's time for us to show up in Detroit, and because we're actually not favored to win this. It is a 60-40 showing that Detroit's going to win. So you know what? To all the naysayers, let's keep pounding, folks. Panther fans, let's keep the tide rolling the way we need to. Let's keep racking these victories up, then they'll have no choice. I know, granted, earlier on in the year we've sputtered a little bit, but hey, this is actually a time now, excuse me for that, now is the time for us to keep rolling. Once we get those victories, let's keep rolling along here. Last week, as we see, Carolina, of course, is 3-1. They're 2-0 away, as Detroit is 3-1, and they are 1-1 at home. So that's what the records are leading into today's matchup. Let's get a look at our quarterbacks. Looking at Cam Newton for the Carolina Panthers, of course, he is 73 attempts, 73 completions out of 112 attempts, 882 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Yes, he's been a little bit rusty. Yes, he was hurt. He did have surgery, a little bit sluggish coming back, but it looked like last week going to Funchess, Cam kind of had it go rolling along there. He was getting his timing back, and he was getting his, the feel of the game back, so he can continue going there. Stafford, of course, he is 88 of 138 attempts. He's had 887 yards. He's been very much more efficient this year, 7 touchdowns to only 1 interception. So it looks like we've got our job cut out for us, of course, but no need to fear, Panther fans. This isn't something that we can't do. If we beat the Tom Brady last week, sure enough, there's no reason why we can't defeat the Detroit Lions. Jonathan Stewart, of course, 59 rushes for 230 yards on the year. Abdullah, the running back for the Detroit Lions, has 66 rushes, 257 yards, and 1 touchdown. So he's no slouch himself. So we have to make sure that we see that he can run. That's one of the things. And I'll bring the keys to the victory in just a minute. When our wide receivers, Devin Funchess, he has 17 receptions, 216 yards, 2 TDs, which he got those last week. Like I said, Funchess and a lot of others around the league seem to think Funchess may be becoming that #1 target to Cam and overtaking Benjamin. And I agree. Funchess had some really good catches last week in some spots, and he kept the pace going and eliminated a lot of 3-outs. Trust me, folks. I think Panthers had 9 total possessions, if I'm not mistaken, but I know this, out of all their possessions they only had to punt 1 time, and that was near the end of the game. So I think if the Panthers can sustain long, hard drives, they can do something. But Funchess, he's got to be a step up. He's got to have time to shine. If Cam looks his way, he's a big physical receiver as much as Benjamin was. Remember, Benjamin didn't get too many targets last week. Keep Funchess on. Funchess 17 for 216, 2 touchdowns. We look on the other side of the stadium. We got Golden Tate for the Detroit Lions. He has 24 receptions, 219 yards, and 1 TD. So he's going to be a weapon that we're going to have to look for. Injuries so far leading up into this video, folks, this is a Thursday. So we see that Kurt Coleman, of course, got hurt last week. He is listed as out for the game. Now, there are a few that are questionable, but they will be more or less game time, and obviously they more than likely will play. So that's what we're going to be hurting in our secondary, because of course we know Kurt Coleman is one of our captains in the back, and he's one of our hardest hitting safeties that we have. So we're going to have to kind of look in that area and be more mindful and careful of that. The team stats leading into the game are the Panthers are scoring 19.5 points a game, as Detroit is scoring 24.8. The Panthers are getting 224.8 passing yards, 116.3 rushing yards, and Detroit is hitting 221.8 passing yards and 97 rushing yards. So we're leading in overall yardage. We're getting our yardage, which is good in scoring. Now, our defense is giving up 298.5, a little under 300 yards, as Detroit is giving up 341.3. So, yet again, we see another defense that is giving up a lot of points. So, that means we're going to have to basically it's a good possibility we can get another high-scoring game off this defense by them giving up the yardage that they are giving up. Now, these things are my Panthers' keys to win. This is for the Panther offense. Time of possession is very important. Last week, Detroit had 36 minutes over the Minnesota Vikings, and last week I didn't give you just the victory, the scores of each team's last week game. New England, of course, we know our Panthers beat them 33-30 by Gano on a last-second field goal, but we see that Detroit defeated the Minnesota Vikings 14-7. Not a very high score, so that by their offense or by their defense. So that means we're going to have to really put some points on the board. Our offense has to keep time possession. That means we're going to have to run the ball, get it to Stewart, get it to McCaffrey, get some end arounds, try to keep the ball on the ground, establish the time of possession, and grind it out. Eliminate turnovers. Of course, we know any interceptions that may take place. Fumbles like that. Let's be more secure to ball, Panthers. Be more mindful in making decisions, Cam, in your throws so that we don't have any mishaps, overthrows, underthrows that will allow the teams to get an interception or a fumble recovery, because we give up good field position, good chance they may be able to score. So it's up to us, and we don't want to overwork our defense if we don't have to. So also the O-line, as to the O-line, make sure we protect Cam, okay? You did a pretty good job last week from the 2 weeks before. Let's continue that on. Let's hold up and let's try to keep Cam standing upright instead of on his back. Cam did a good job last week of why they protected, but also eluding runners too. They did have a little bit more. Cam rushed a little bit more last week than he did the previous 2 games or 3 games before that. So, or 2 games before that. So let's just make sure that we keep Cam protected and keep him more upright than on the ground. And also key to Cam, find Funchess. Wherever Funchess is, let Funchess get matched up. Let's see Funchess get some touches. Get more confident Funchess. I know you've worked out with Funchess in the offseason. I know that you tried to target. Benjamin hadn't been getting the targets, but this is your chance. Keep Funchess. Funchess is on the rise. A lot of fantasy guys seem to think, because I did snag Funchess off the fantasy wire, and I've got Funchess on my fantasy team now. I've got confidence. Cam, find Funchess to get the balls. Dixon did good last week with the catches he had. Like I said, Benjamin wasn't targeting it as much. Find Funchess. That's where you need to go. Graham Gano on the special teams. Keep focused by doing what you're doing. You did miss the extra point, which made a 7-point game rather than an 8-point game. Also, too, is make sure you stay consistent with your field goals. I think you're 9 for 9 with field goals. So keep that going along. You're going to do well. Now to the Panthers defense. Create turnovers. And, of course, getting to the quarterback. Forcing fumbles. Get in there and rip the ball out when he's trying to run. Let's get that hands in there and try to create some turnovers, interceptions, whatever we need to do. Let's try to create some turnovers. With turnovers by your defense, you can create victories within the game itself. Put pressure on Stafford. Let's have in Peppers like last week. Had two more sacks last week against Tom Brady. Let's put more pressure on Matthew Stafford and cause him to make errant throws. That's what helps also create turnovers. Stopping the run. Don't allow Abdullah to get a good run, because sometimes we allow a lot of rushing yardage on the team. Let's hold still, keep that front four together, keep that front seven, and not allow Abdullah to get 100 yards. Keep him under that. Keep him honest with that. Panther fans, Panthers, you can do that. You did that against Shady McCoy when we played the Bills. Stop the run and eliminate it. Force Stafford to have to throw and create pressure on Stafford. Then last but not least is eye on the Panthers defense on that secondary. Watch out for Golden Tate and Jones. Those are two weapons that Stafford does have. We want to make sure that and point that out. Make sure we keep our eye on Stafford. Make sure we watch out for Tate. That we make sure these guys come up and that we keep them in check and eliminate this. So I know the Panthers can do it. Panther Nation, let's stand up and let's cheer for our Panthers. Hashtag keep pounding Panthers. Let's go forward. Let's hashtag beat Detroit this week, and let's just go forward and continue and make us 4-1 Panthers. So until next time, check out my review video. This will be after the game. I hope you folks enjoyed my videos. If you do, Panther Nation, drop a like on this video. Subscribe to my channel as I try to get these results out to you. My previews and reviews of it. And if you do, share it with others. I want to get as many viewers, subscribers as I can. You have any comments, drop them in the comment box. And if you have any questions, it goes the same, as I will read them and try to answer them to you. So until next time, with the next video out with the Panther Prowl, this is Bill Mack saying hashtag keep it pounding.